Alright, so a revelation hit me the other day. Your ability to focus is the most important skill you have. It will determine how much income you can make, your future career opportunities, and your overall life quality. Yet, so many of us are getting severely worse at it, which is probably why you're just about to click off this video. But if you are interested as to why your focus is getting severely worse, what this will cost you in terms of future job prospects, and some pointers as to how to prevent this inevitable decline, then I think you're going to enjoy this video. Okay, so I was doing one of my favorite forms of procrastination the other day and watching YouTube videos on productivity. When you're watching a video about productivity, so it kind of makes you feel like you're productive, but in reality, you're actually putting off taking the trash outside. And I came across this one video by Professor Cal Newport on his new book, Digital Minimalism, where he discusses that a human's ability to focus is getting severely diminished as time goes on. He then went on to explain that this is caused by the way social media companies engineer algorithms to literally steal our attention to stay on their platform of choice. It makes a lot of sense, right? The longer you're on a social media platform, the more advertisement you consume, the more data that you share, and the more content that you consume whilst on it. So I was listening and I was like, okay, but what does this have to do with focus? The way that these algorithms are engineered is they take advantage of one of the human brain's biggest weaknesses in life: short-term novelty. Let's take the Facebook storyline, for example. Every time you're scrolling down on that line, it's showing you very quick, short videos that are just enough to keep you engaged, just enough to stimulate your dopamine so that you continue using the platform. But the problem with this is that you're actually undoing all the hard work that your focus muscles have been built up from the past. Similar to how a track athlete starts to eat junk food and a load of crap in his diet, his muscles will begin to get weaker and won't be able to perform as well. And this exact same thing happens to your focus muscles the longer you use social media platforms and engage in short-term novel content. So Cal's words really stuck with me that day, that over time, as the algorithms get more sophisticated and better at stealing your attention, the human's ability to focus will actually slowly decrease. Alright, so a week passes and I'm sat down at work listening to a customer success story of a big retailer who's just replaced their warehouse workers with robots instead to improve their operations. The video shows a short, podgy man, I think he was the project manager, and he went on to explain, humans are too error prone, and they don't like the job of having to pick up and put away stock that's just come off deliveries. The simple fact of the matter is that this is the future of retail, and all of our competitors are doing the exact same thing. He then went on, we're still looking to hire warehouse workers, but just those that can learn a bit quicker and that can adapt to our changing needs. We need warehouse workers that can learn to use the software needed for the robotics, that can learn to communicate better in teams, and that can offer the more human element where robots can't. The video finished, and I paused and reflected for a second. I've had the exact same experience in my own sales cycles. Customers are looking to automate and replace workers who are doing mundane and repetitive tasks, but instead they're looking for workers who can learn the new skills quicker that are needed in their industry. So the success of the future worker will come down to those who can learn the fastest, who can adapt and pick up the new skills that are needed to thrive as an employee of the future. So the project manager's words stuck with me that day, that the demands for workers who can learn the fastest will of course increase over time. Alright, so we talked about how focus is getting worse, and we talked about how the demands for the future worker will be those who can learn the quickest. But how does this all come together? Only about a week after the events of the customer success story, I went on a mission to learn how to learn as quick as possible so that I could give myself and my family members a better chance at being a successful employee of the future. So I walked home from gym that day and put on a podcast by Professor Andrew Huberman, leading Stanford neuroscientist, discussing how adults can learn to learn faster. Andrew explained that the key ingredient to learning faster as adults all boils down to focus. He then went on to break it down with the following easy to remember equation. Focus plus urgency plus rest equals learning as an adult. So the equation was solved. As time goes on, our ability to focus decreases as the sophistication of algorithms increase. This impacts our ability to learn as adults. And as an employee of the future, those who are most in demand will be quick learners, which means that our demand as a future employee will also be relatively low. But what does this all mean tied together? Focus could be the most important skill for your livelihood, success, and life quality when it comes to the future. So now more than ever, we have built a pretty solid case to begin focusing on focus. And there are some very simple ways that you can get started with that today. One is to start to begin limiting your exposure to these algorithms built by social media which chip away at your ability to focus. And of course, there's many more, which I look to discuss in my next video of how to train your focus muscles. But for now, thank you for watching. Please subscribe if you found this video useful at all, and I will catch you on the next one.